Hello there. It's Nooch. And I'm here with Nooch Cosmo. Say hello, Nooch Cosmo.
Hello, NOOCH Cosmo.
All right, we're going to watch the movie. Let me do the intro first. We'll be right back. Okay, so how's it going? How's it going, Cosmo?
I'm great. How are you doing tonight?
Or I guess as we like to say, how's it going, Nooch? You guys call me Nooch. Never mind.
Forgot my
Forget it.
line.
Just forget it. So here's the deal. Nooch Cosmo and I, in the 80s. By the way, we're going to start in a few minutes. I'll start the episode timer. We're going to start watching it. I don't think that anybody who's watching this is going to have to be at the same point in the movie as we are to enjoy it. So if you just want to watch along, I'm pretty sure anybody watching this probably has A New Hope down pretty well, like you know what the deal is. And probably you'll know at what point we are in the movie just by the conversations we're having. So, but I will put the timer over here regardless, so you guys can follow along. So Nooch Cosmo and I are here. We're both Star Wars dads, and so we used to we watched these movies. We probably watched Empire more than anything else, right? Back in the 80s.
Absolutely. It is the best movie.
It's the best movie, like, period. But we definitely have seen this movie. It's if it's not 100 times, I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked.
Yeah, it was every weekend. Slumber parties, that's what you did in the 80s. You had your sleepovers, and you'd pull out the couch, the convertible couch, and on the little TV, which I think my computer monitor is probably bigger than the TVs we had back in the day, right? But yeah, you'd crank it up and put it in the VCR, and away you go.
It was a 19-inch color TV, baby. And the cool thing was you put it on channel 3, so you go up there and turn it knob to channel 3. You pop the tape in the VCR and off. And we were either watching Star Wars or Indiana Jones. Those were our two options. So, Adam Broussard's putting it on his TV. It'll be his son. It's gonna be your son's first time watching. So his son's gonna watch A New Hope the first time with two Star Wars dads from the 80s. So this will be awesome. Gamer Husky's here. Disney Pin Traders is here. Hey guys, what's happening? Okay, so again, we're gonna get started here. I've got some questions already loaded up for Nooch Cosmo. By the way, if you don't know, Nooch Cosmo is the guy who does all the art for the channel. You know, when you see stick figures in my thumbnails, or even when you see the Nooch, my Star Wars dad guy in my intro, you know, that's he made that picture. So yes, way to go, man. So I got a couple questions for you, but let's go ahead and get started because we can ask the questions during the course of the movie. So are you ready?
I'm ready. I got my popcorn. I got my cashews. I'm ready to go.
Oh, you have your cashews. Well, fortunately, that's lucky because I got
It's like 5 pounds of cashews. So.
Just in case. Hey, R2D2's on. So, okay. On your mark, get set, go. Are the drums playing right now?
Drums are playing.
Okay, good. So for reference, we're watching the same version that's on Disney Plus. I think you and I will probably have some insight as to stuff that's been added since the original.
Yes, if I make a cringy face, that means it was probably added.
There's a few like really good. I think the X-wing stuff at the end is really helpful, but man, some of it is just complete garbage. Wait, so let me, as we get started, that we're doing the scroll right now. Do you know what McClunky is?
McClunky?
Yes. Do you know what McClunky is?
You know, if I was sharper, I'd have a really funny joke to go with that. But no, I don't.
Well, in about 30 minutes, you're gonna find out. So.
Is it the Stormtrooper?
I'm not gonna tell you.
No, that's past 30 minutes.
Is it the Stormtrooper?
I was talking to my son about this last month, saying I was going to do this, and he said, do the updated versions have the Stormtrooper still clunking his head on the door? And I said, yeah, you can't take that. If Lucas had taken that out, there would have been open rebellion. So
Well, I
You still get
mean,
to see that, right?
yeah, yeah. I think there's already open rebellion about Han shooting first. Hey, Music Man, about a group watch. I looked it up, and you can do like 5 or 6 people, and it just wasn't. Like, maybe there's some way to do like 1,000 people that I'm not aware of, but there wasn't a real good way to do it on Disney. It was only had like up to a few people. So if you figured out a way that many, many more people can do it, let me know. But like I said at the beginning, as we get started, you may not have been on. I think you'll know where we are in the movie by our conversations. We haven't watched. When was the last time we watched? It's got to be 1990 since we watched this together.
Together, yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, and we've.
And I say, like, when we say 1990s, it seems like, yeah, it's just a couple years ago, right? I got bad news for you, my friend. It was like 25, 30 years ago.
1990 is 30 years ago. 32.
Mr. Math.
Yikes, Mr. Math. Yes, I'm talking to Mr. Math. Okay, so we're in the opening scene. Here comes the Star Destroyer. Now, I remember my parents telling me stories about people, like adults, going to the theater, and when the Star Destroyer first comes on the screen and it keeps going and going, they were just like in complete awe at this movie, like from the very get-go.
It's almost like Spaceballs then made fun of that.
I know, right? It's, maybe.
What I really love about this movie and all the Star Wars movies, really, these original ones, is that the special effects held up. Like, yeah, you can look and there's a couple of cheesy things, but by and large, like, it's really well done for 40, 50 years ago, right?
Yeah, it's it's one of the groundbreaking. Oh, I was gonna tell you. Hey, speaking of special effects, I have your old Jurassic Park hardback novel back here. It's got your name and address in it. And the cool thing is it's printed upside down, so when you open it right side up, the printing is all upside down. I need to get that back to you.
Okay, so here's a fun fact. If you take the sleeve on the hardcover book and you turn it over, then it's all correct and face up.
What? Stop. Don't confuse me. But if you take the sleeve off and you open it like it looks, it doesn't work. Just never mind. I was going to ask you, do you remember the first time you watched this movie? Because I get a lot of questions on the channel, like, when did you fall in love with Star Wars, or what's your and I talk about me going to the drive-in with my dad, like, at least once a week, and I love telling the story, but when did you see the movie? I don't think I know that.
I saw it in the theater. I saw it in 1977. My dad took me. I was 5, so I don't like remember a lot about it, but I remember the experience of going and just like, yeah, it was such a, I wouldn't say groundbreaking movie. It was just something that as a 5-year-old kid, it was like amazing, right? So I do remember it being amazing. I don't know that I fell in love with Star Wars right that moment, but by the time Empire Strikes Back came out, I was 8, and then that's pretty much when I became the fan, right?
See, I think I became a fan really quickly. I went out and bought action figures because I had saved up some money. I don't remember if you had any of those or not. The original action figures from Kenner.
I do. I still have them. I just don't know where they are right now, but I have them in a box somewhere.
There's Darth Vader. Darth Vader just rolled into the Tantive 4.
It's just like in Rogue One. It's the same. Oh wait, it's not.
I think they did their best to bring the costume, but just the way he moved in Rogue One was just a lot more fun and animated. Yeah. The lightsaber duel in this movie
is presence. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, not that he doesn't hear, but man, in Rogue One, that's a goosebump scene.
Rogue One is the most amazing. This Darth Vader scene in Rogue One is one of the now Leia. By the way, just put the plans in R2 for everybody that's watching. When I watched this movie, I remember we went to different colleges. We live in Missouri, and you went to Rolla, which was the College of Science and Technology, which I was never going to go to. And then I went to Kirksville, which is the artsy college. And at the time, we could watch these on VHS, but I didn't watch them that much in college. And, really, you were the person that I really watched these with. So they had a movie screening night where they showed this movie on the big screen, like they put it up and they did that. They had The Shining and all this stuff, but they did Star Wars. And I just remember everybody laughing like all the way through. And, I'd forgotten how funny it was because we watched it so much over and over, but people were laughing all the way through the movie in the theater and yeah, something.
Yeah. Probably because scenes like this. Man commander, tear the ship apart. As I turn my head, it doesn't match my words. Let's go, It's like, come on. He got better.
Or he's physically choking him because we don't understand the Force yet, so we can't have
Right.
him, I love Princess Leia so much. So much.
Didn't everyone back then?
I am much more into her in the white flowing robe than the bikini. Nothing on that? Is your wife behind you?
Right there.
I think my wife knows my feelings for Princess Leia. So ATX Music Man says his family, they started watching episode 1 with the little one. There's a question. This comes up a lot. And by the way, the escape pod just launched out. That's where we are. This is so dumb. Hold your fire. There's no life forms aboard.
He says another one. So what? There was an earlier one, obviously, right? What happened to that one?
They must have blown it away because maybe there was a life form on board. But somehow there's a directive. Don't waste any energy on escape pods with no.
The whole detachment down because that'll be easier.
There's your red tape government, your bureaucracy in action,
Yep.
baby.
Yep.
There's some obscure law that says they can't target escape pods with no life forms aboard, but yeah, it's the Geneva Convention. Now, here's a question. Why wouldn't he have any sense at all that this might be his daughter? Like, the first time he feels Luke is in an X-Wing with like outer space between them, but here he's like, he can sniff her and doesn't have any idea that she smells like Padme.
He's enraptured by the buns. He's like, he can pass those buns.
Aren't we all enraptured by the buns? But I was talking about the comedy of it because the movie starts off with 3PO and R2 and it's just hilarious. Right off the bat, they're just going at it, and you get that. I talk a lot about how this is the these movies represent the oldest stories ever told, right? The young man on his spiritual journey, the old wizard guiding him, the dark evil bad guy, the pirate and the princess and the sidekicks. It's all right there. It's like, yeah. That Star Destroyer is still. You're right. That special effect with the Star Destroyer going across the screen stands up 100%. R2 and 3PO.
For Anthony Daniels, they're walking through the desert right now, or I should say Tunisia. Man, that poor guy walking around in this suit in 120-degree heat while they're filming. Oh.
I can't, and it's like crammed on him so tight. I mean, I can't imagine. And plus, these R2 just broke down constantly from what you would read about it. Because like when he's moving like this, like right now he's rolling across the sand, which I'm not sure how that works, but whatever. Obviously got a board. But like Kenny Baker wasn't in him. Like he was just a robot here. Remote control robot, but then like
what did Kenny Baker really do? I never really understood that. I mean, the guy must have been crammed in there so tight. What do you do? Do you operate the head turning around, or?
I don't know exactly. I imagine that part of the personality of it was just having a person in there in those short scenes where he could, respond
like
with person.
Back and forth?
Yeah, like when he's bouncing up. Maybe when he gets shocked and he falls backwards, they had Kenny Baker like banging off the walls inside R2. I don't know. Disney Pin says, I think Leia's powers are dormant and Vader's rage and anger is blocking his senses. Also with Luke, he senses Luke using the Force to pilot the X-Wing. Which I think is fair. Did you hear that, or were you just talking to... What happened? What happened?
Mrs. Cosmo is in the room, but she doesn't want to be on the screen. So
she's crawling.
She's currently crawling behind me.
So
I'm gonna go dark for a second. Here we go.
Okay.
Okay, go.
So here's a conversation for us. Right now they're in the desert. 3PO's about to signal down the Jawa, the sandcrawler. So. And by the way, we've seen 0 new special effects so far, which is fine by me. So Disney Pin Trader says, I think Leia's powers are dormant and Vader's rage and anger is blocking his senses. Also with Luke, he senses him using the Force to pilot the X-Wing. So I agree with all that. But let me ask you. So, and you're not as involved as I am right now in the community and everything. Oh, I don't hear your sound right now. Your sound's off. Yeah. Let me make sure it's not something on my side. You're not on mute with me. So it's after you went on your
How about that?
Yeah, there you go. You're back. You're back.
Sorry.
Yeah, and you said you make fun of it. So there's all these conversations in with Star Wars. So when we were, let me go back. When we were young, people loved Star Wars, right? But then the Star Trek fans were nerds because they had every episode memorized. They'd say in episode 42, Attack of the Fluffles. What were those things called?
Which Galaxy Quest made fun of very
Right,
well. I
right.
love that movie.
And even William Shatner went on Saturday Night Live and stood in front of the Star Trek convention and said, "Get a life," So,
yeah.
I kind of think Star Wars has become that in a lot of ways, because there are these big arguments about, and I'm gonna get in trouble here. Somebody's gonna be mad, but there's all these discussions and arguments about what is canon and what's not, and I don't know if you're familiar with that. Yeah. So for me, I just really don't care. Like, I just want to have fun watching the movie, and if it makes sense, like Rise of Skywalker is complete poop, like I get it, but
The movie that shall not be named.
the movie that shall not be named.
Yeah, I mean, there are inconsistencies in the movies, right? Why doesn't Luke recognize 3PO or vice versa, right? And stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it's true. At the same time, I'm here to be entertained, not to be like picking it apart.
ATX is upset that we're making fun of him for being a Star Trek nerd. By the way, Cosmo and I like Star Trek.
Star Trek is great.
Yeah, we watched Next Generation came out when we were in high school, and I remember conversations at the lunch table about, hey, the bridge, the disc part separated. That was in the pilot, and everybody was like, whoa! And we watched Next Generation all through high school, and I binged the original series on Netflix a few years ago. My family thought I was insane.
Yeah? Did it stand the test of time?
Oh, the special effects obviously are horrible.
Yeah.
But I love it. When I watch it back as an adult, I realize that the whole series is about it's about social values and the changes they were going through in the 60s of how they looked at race and, well, mostly race, because they're going to outer space and they're meeting people of different races, and but just how they dealt with each other and different political ideas, and so that's really what the show is. So I still liked it, and I love Next Generation.
Except Deanna Troi.
Well, Wait a minute. So the Gronk droid is coming out inside You don't like Deanna Troi?
No, but you know what I do like is Gronk droids. I think it's awesome that they're basically walking batteries, and I didn't know that at the time. But you find out later that it stands for like GNK or something like that, and it stands for something.
I think it's cool that
enormous killer battery or something.
Right. In the original trilogy, it shows up like once for 2 seconds here, and it becomes it's like a thing everywhere now. Like everybody knows exactly what a Gronk droid is.
And you could buy the Kenner figure for Gronk droid, and you're like, well, where was that movie? Oh, it was in that movie for 5 seconds. That one.
Okay, that's an added scene.
Yes, this one with the stuff.
Yeah, the stormtroopers in the desert with the dewback, and the Imperial shuttle takes off. And here's what bothers me about it. You can tell it's added. Like,
yeah.
The dewback
looks different.
Yeah, the dewback is clearly CGI, and nothing else in this movie is CGI, so that's what bothers me about some of the added stuff. And I just don't think you needed it. This is added too, the sandcrawler going through the desert.
Yeah.
But that's actually kind of cool. I don't know.
That looks okay.
Yeah. Later, when they ride the Luke's speeder through Mos Eisley, it like totally looks like a video game, and it's horrible, and they shouldn't have done that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, Exile, how you doing? Welcome to the stream, Exile. I'm not sure we met before. Good to meet you. So, by the way, the Jawas are now bringing. I think they're bringing. Aren't they at the Skywalker Ranch now? Skywalker Farm. Do you think they'll melt us down? Shut up.
Okay, so Kat just said the Hobbit watch party is better than Star Wars watch party.
So, are you aware that I'm going to do a Hobbit watch party?
I was not, but are you talking about the Hobbit, like the Hobbit 3 movies?
Yes.
Those things are a travesty to J.R.R. Tolkien fans. And I will fight anyone who says otherwise. The Lord of the Rings trilogy, amazing. Really well done. But The Hobbit was about 6.5 hours too long.
There it is, everybody. That's exactly what I've been saying since I started the channel. Cosmo's level is a little bit low. Let me turn him up a little bit here. I can turn you up. I got you turned up a little bit there.
Okay. I'll talk louder.
That's fine. You're good. And so, hang on. I'm trying to get the volume. I look like a. So yeah, Luke. I'll be right there.
They literally live in a mud hole. Like it's a large hole dug out of the mud.
Mud hole, slimy. I don't think I have much choice, but I'll look at there. I was going to Tashi Station. He's
That's
such
mine.
a weenie, dude.
I had R5D4.
R5D4. I had that figure.
Figures I had.
Yep. Uncle Owen.
That guy went on to greatness, didn't he?
So yeah, he did. Kenny Baker, I think he was in R2 there and just did the slow turn to watch. He did the slow turn like, 3PO's making inroads to this farmer. He's going to get sold, and I love him, and I don't want him to leave. He's my buddy. Like, I think that's a Kenny Baker move right there to make it more, Hey, see ya, Exile. Thanks for the comment.
Yeah.
There it is. But I was going to Tashi Station to pick up some power converters. All right, come on. What about that one? So what I was talking about with the canon stuff. So Disney Pin Traders earlier said, or ATX, one of you guys said that like he couldn't sense Leia because he was too angry and her force wasn't developed yet. And honestly, when we were in the 80s and 90s, we just didn't put that much thought into it. It was just like, okay, once we got to Return of the Jedi, we knew he was his sister. We saw all the bad acting that went along with that. Anyway, it just didn't bother us. But now, like, everything, and this is, I'm not insulting anybody here. It's just a different generation, but everything needs an explanation, Why couldn't she sense him? Why this and why that? We have to explain it. And I think some of the stuff gets lost. Like, I think that was a big part of the prequels problem when they came out was that George Lucas was trying to explain everything.
Midichlorians.
Right. Yeah. Midichlorians are a waste of time. Oh, this oil bath is going to...
It's also the case now that I think when you watch, even a trailer for a movie, you've got 90 seconds of scenes from an upcoming movie, and people analyze it literally frame by frame, right? So there's a much higher standard now for making sure that all that detail is there. Oh, did you see what's in the background there? It's that one thing from the other thing, and they know what that means. And back in the day, you could watch it in the theater, and then maybe a year later you could watch it on the ABC Sunday Night Movie with ads. And then maybe 10 years later, you could watch it on VHS. So it was really hard to, have that kind of detail and pickiness, if you will, about these movies.
Yeah, I agree. So the Hobbit watch party, by the way, here's how this has worked out. I've been saying the exact same thing about the Hobbit all the time, and I've got people in the stream. Kat, who's in the stream right now, like loves the Hobbit. He's always talking about the White Orc, and the White Orc sets me off. Like I like in the theater. The minute I look up on the screen, I looked over at my son, my oldest, and you know his name, of course, and I looked at him, I'm like, what? He's like, I don't know. We're just like, what is even happening right now? And so they keep bringing up The Hobbit, I keep railing it. So this month I basically said, hey, if you guys contribute $300 to the channel, I'll watch The Hobbit. And they did. So I'm going to do it. Yeah. So they just want to watch me rage for like 3 hours. And hang on, we're about to get Princess Leia's message here.
She's beautiful.
She's beautiful. What is that?
So what you're saying is for $300, you will endure watching The Hobbit.
Well, I think I'm going to be entertaining people by how horrible. But the thing is, though, like the first hour, if I remember, I watched it once in the theater and then I was done. The second movie we rented or whatever, and I watched about half of it, and then I fell asleep. And then I haven't watched anything else. I didn't watch the third movie. Battle of the Five Armies. What are we doing? Anyway, so I'm about 5 hours into Andy Serkis reading The Hobbit on YouTube, which is amazing, by the way. When he jumps into Gollum, it made me smile. Like I had this huge smile on my face. So I'm listening to the whole thing so I can make sure I'm ready for this thing. We're going to start on Saturday. But yeah, that's the whole point, is to get on there. And I'm going to take, on the first stream on Saturday, any donations I'm going to take afterward and donate to St. Jude. And we'll do that on the first stream. And we'll do that every now and then on the channel too. But yeah, I'm going to, as soon as they get to, it's not Lothlorien. Where do they go?
Lothlorien.
Is it Lothlorien?
Oh, you're talking about Rivendell, probably.
Rivendell. By the way, everybody, NOOCH Cosmo is a Tolkien, expert. Like, he read the
NOOCH Cosmo learned how to write in Elvish. I was a nerd. I read the Silmarillion. I read all the other books. So if any of you are those super fans, I'm right there with you. And The Hobbit is a great book, to be clear. It's just those movies were a travesty.
Can you still write in Elvish?
Maybe a little bit. I also knew the Dwarven runes, and if I see those, I mean, those are real runes from like Norse times, and so I can see those and kind of read them a little bit too. So I'd have to brush up. I'm a little rusty.
So if it said Beloch, you could read it? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Nice reference there, by the way.
Thank you. Speak.
We have ways.
Kat says we need more NOOCH Cosmo crossovers. I want you to come back. We're gonna watch all these movies, right? Like maybe one a month for a while.
Yes, we are.
Okay, there you go. And I agree with what you said at the beginning of the stream. That, by the way, Luke is about to sit down and drink blue milk, is where we are in the movie. Which blue milk is a more recent development. We never really talked about blue milk a lot until the last 10, 15 years or so it became a thing. Like,
until you saw where it came from. You're
yeah.
Like, whoa.
I think the green milk kind of brought it out pretty good too. Like, it's like, oh, which I love that scene actually. So let's see here. We got Disney Pin Traders is gonna head out. All right, cool. Joshua Hill is on. Jared Weiss on. Welcome aboard, guys. I got my members on here. My members are joining.
Oh, if you're green, you're a member. Is that how it works?
So if you're green and you have a little icon that say they got the NOOCH Too Good by their name.
Yes.
And then they've been a member for less than 2 months. People that have been a member for more than 2 months will have like a little. I put your Mando drawing into a square, and that's there until they're 6-month members.
Nice.
Yeah.
I feel like you're kind of hinting that your best friend for 35 years should probably become a member of your channel, huh?
No. You donated enough just to who I am and the things that I don't know. Yes, I'm glad you're here. You can get what at Disney now? He says, nice way to get that commitment from Cosmo. I was in sales for like 10 years, so.
Peer pressure is terrible when people are watching.
You roll the pen across the table. Hey, sign. That was actually one of the things that they talked about. But that's a whole nother year. I love how he started the pitch. Like, it's just like a teenager, like, I've been thinking.
So, I was thinking.
Yeah, if those droids work out, maybe I'll go to the Academy early. By the way, he's going to the Imperial Academy. Why do we never talk about this? He's going to join the Empire.
He could have been amazing. Imagine him fighting on the other side, right?
Imagine if him in like a TIE fighter pilot outfit and he's flying through the trench and Darth Vader goes, wait a second. He looks to his right and realizes
that's my boy.
Hang on. I love this music. This music gives me chills whenever I hear it.
What I really like is how they turned this theme into something much more like they totally John Williams, who's amazing, revamped it in later movies, right, and turned it into. Did he use it for the bad guys? Maybe not.
I don't know.
But this theme is, goes through the other later movies as well.
It just keeps showing up every time the Skywalker theme plays. Luke Skywalker's theme plays. I just, when he died in The Last Jedi, which I thought was appropriate. I liked the way they did it. There are a lot of things about that movie I don't like, but I like the way they did that. And then they show the two sons, and the theme plays, and then he just fades away. Like, I'm getting chills talking about it right now. That music just gets me every time I hear it.
Yeah. John Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Jurassic Park, Indiana Jones, Jaws.
All of them.
I mean,
all Close Encounters.
Guy's amazing.
E.T. Yeah, he's amazing. He is amazing. I think he retired though recently.
I think he retired 20 years ago, but he kept coming back to do Star Wars movies.
Well, that's true. Which, by the way, Phantom Menace has awesome music in it too.
Of course.
Oh, he excels at that, sir. 3PO's great. 3PO and R2 are just so awesome in these movies. By the way, as you know, I have a son named Luke, and whenever we yell at him across the house, all I ever think of is these scenes.
Reminds you of this?
Yeah, Luke, 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 and I just when my wife yells at him through the house just to get it, all I can think of is
Aunt Beru.
All I can hear is literally every single time I hear Aunt Beru yelling Luke. I think so. So Adam says, I think Anakin's music is a variation of the Imperial March or something like that. Yeah, that's probably. I think that's true. Okay, here's a question I was going to ask. So I know my answer to the question, and I think ATX in here said that he had just shown episode 1 to his daughter or son recently. What order should people watch the movies in?
If they've never seen any of them, you should probably watch them in episode order rather than released order. Don't you think?
I disagree.
Really?
I think you should start with this movie. My two reasons are, one, you're going to be watching better movies. Like, if you start off watching Phantom Menace, you might get bored.
Pretty fair.
But that might be a result of, our experience more than a brand new person coming in and seeing it. I think that, but the second part of it to me is you miss out on the twist. You don't experience Empire Strikes Back in its full glory at the end of the movie when you find out that Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's father. Sorry,
Right.
Spoilers, everybody. So that's my thought.
By the way, I love how Luke is 3PO says, hey, we should go out and look. And he's like, no, sand people. We got to be careful. But then he's like, oh, sand people, let's go. And they...
And by the way, how is he not bloody here? That gaffy stick is serious weaponry, dude.
I also feel like sand people is somehow racist. I can't quite put my finger on it, but it just seems bad to call them sand people.
It does have a overtone to it. Kat says he's drinking green milk. Adam says, I think the prequels have callbacks to the originals. Okay, that sound is majorly changed, by the way.
Yeah. It's like somebody that just had a lot of Taco Bell.
Yeah, we're talking about about Obi-Wan making the sound of the crate dragon. In the original, it was woo, like that.
It's the Popo.
Here they come. Here it comes. Here's the line.
Hello, my friend.
Hello there. I don't seem to ever remember owning a droid. I don't remember this droid at all.
ATX Music Man is right. Maybe you just skipped the last 3, right?
They wanted our daughter to see them both in release order. So that's what I'm saying, right? I agree. I'm on board. We'll probably not bother showing the trilogy that must not be... Okay, that's what... I didn't see that. Yeah. I like Kylo. I like Kylo and Rey a lot, and I like a lot of things they did with them, but they just didn't do enough. And then so many weird things happened along the way. Just, I don't know.
But then there's Poe.
Yeah. And again, not even his fault. what is his character? I don't even know what he's. Why is he one of the main characters? He doesn't.
Right. And of course, Finn's character arc goes, woo,
and then just stops.
it's done.
And it's like Rian Johnson just took it and destroyed it. I mean, obviously that's what he said he wanted. He's like, you're gonna take the past and destroy it, and he did exactly that. But it's like, I know we're like preaching to the choir here, but like, of course I know him. He's me. Alec Guinness is amazing. Without him in this movie, I'm not sure it would have been what it is.
That's Sir Alec Guinness to you, young
That's
man.
true. And by the way, I cannot wait for the Obi-Wan series, which is going to come out. I'm guessing May the 4th will be the premiere date, which would be amazing. Have you subscribed to Disney Plus yet?
I have not. I did for The Mandalorian.
So you haven't
I'm
seen.
waiting for Boba Fett, enough Boba Fett episodes to come out that I can just kind of binge them,
That's the way to do it. You could probably, because you have to watch. Obi-Wan's going to be amazing. I can't see any way that Ewan McGregor on screen as the in-between Obi-Wan is not just, and Hayden Christensen's going to show up. It just can't not be amazing, But let's see here. You have to watch the sequels, but after each one, watch Silent Bob's reviews. Is that Kevin Smith? Yeah. So there was potential in episode 7, right? When you look back, it had a lot of holes. Like, is that picture of Obi-Wan's hut is new, right? Isn't that new?
Yeah, that was a new scene right there.
Yeah.
All 5 seconds of it.
Which isn't horrible. By the way, Obi-Wan's Luke's about to find the lightsaber. He's about to give it to him and not tell him that he cut off his dad's limbs and left him to die.
So many memories with this thing.
No, my dad was a spice pilot. That's what your uncle told you. Oh, shucks. Be just like bullseyeing womp rats back home in our T-16s.
Oh, ATX, you are so right. My wife and I, we want to watch the new Matrix movies. So we're like, well, we better rewatch the originals, to catch up. It's been a while. So we watched the first one, which is awesome. And then we watched the second one. We're like, ugh. And we can't even bring ourselves to watch the third one. So I'm like, do we just dive into this fourth one? Because I've heard it's pretty good. But
You have?
wow, I have.
I've heard the opposite.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wasting my time then.
I'm the same way with Matrix. The first one's amazing, and like for people like us that have always been, we started with Star Wars, so like these special effects movies kind of they're like marking points in our lives, right? Like you go from Star Wars, then you go to, Jurassic Park next.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah, and what I remember going to the theater to see Jurassic Park, and you're like, holy cow, those look like it was unbelievable.
How did they do that?
Yeah. When what's his name? Sam Neill comes out of the car and like takes the glasses off like this and looks out, and then they pan over and the Brontosaurus is there.
Yeah.
It was the same way for everybody in the theater. Felt the exact same as he felt in that moment, just watching that. Hey Jorge, what's up? Jorge, Overlap, what's up? When did this reality show air? Right now, we're airing it right now. This is live, baby. By the way, for my members, I'm not doing intros on these watch parties, so we'll have to get you when we're gaming again next time. See Overlap? Do you see Overlap's little icon there?
Overlap is the bomb.
Yeah, he's got the Mando thing there. Yeah, so Matrix, the first movie. So it went Star Wars, Jurassic Park, Matrix. And the first movie is amazing, and then the second movie has some good scenes in it, but overall, yeah, it's just, and the third movie is unwatchable.
Yeah.
And I have just no interest. And then what was after Matrix special effects? I guess you'd go to Avatar. Overlap! Thanks, buddy! I guess I guess you go to Avatar, but that movie's so horrible.
But it was pretty cool special effects wise.
I can't watch it. It's unwatchable to me. I don't know.
I'm gonna have to tell Mrs. Cosmo that my good buddy ATX Music Man 80 says we shouldn't even bother. So
that you shouldn't even bother what? Oh, watching the so-called fourth.
Matrix.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing. Overlap. So Nucha Cosmo and I grew up together. This is We are the ones who came up. I don't remember who came up with the name Nooch. We know. We'll get into Trivial Pursuit here in a second, but
We'll say it was me.
we'll say it was you. Sure, you came up with the. So we were watching Return of the Jedi when 3PO says Nooch Vader. We started calling each other Nooch and then by our first names, which shall go. Although I think many people in here know my first name at this point. So back
You've
to the
been
future,
doxxed?
Keegan. This is a Star Wars channel, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. How did Obi-Wan forget R2? And R2 doesn't know Luke. I mean, there's so many.
And that's why I just don't worry about it. Like, I just want to take the movie at surface. I didn't. Well, one thing I was to mention is, when we saw Rise of Skywalker, and I was just like, something wasn't jiving, and I went back and watched like the first minute of Phantom Menace, and I realized that Darth Sidious shows up immediately, and I'm like, well, that's what it was. This whole series is messed up because there was no story through. There was no continued through story through the whole thing. It was just all over the place, and that was the problem. I mean, we all know this. So
I love the Matrix 4 is fine if you watch it in the background of playing something. If it's on a TV in the house down the street, it's great.
you're outside. You're looking through their
That's the
window.
review.
You're that guy.
Peter Cushing. I love this guy as Grand Moff Tarkin.
And he's also amazing in Top Secret, going backwards.
Yes! With his little monocle.
If anybody out here has not seen Top Secret, you need to watch. We watched that movie relentlessly also back in the 80s. It's been a hard day's night.
I know a little German. He's sitting
Standing
over there.
right over there. Peter Cushing is amazing. Peter Cushing is amazing. Yeah, there's no getting around it.
Do they have coffee cups there? What are those? Little
Oh,
coolers?
let's see. Do they have like early koozies back in the 70s? Oh,
And
yeah, those.
do they all have pens in their pockets, like huge imperial pens?
I tell you what, you see a lot of like it's like they do have imperial pens in their pockets. Those coffee mugs, now stuff like that is actually like real. You see those metallic. Yeah, I never thought about that.
This was so ahead of its time.
This is how he chokes him.
Love this. This is where we start learning about the Force.
He pinches his fingers together a little bit.
Yeah, for the MCU, I feel like they have an entire team probably of people whose purpose in living is to make sure that the characters and the story arcs all fit together. I would totally believe that that's the case.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's Kevin Feige. He's playing out the whole thing from beginning to end. So if they would just put oh no, Dave Filoni in charge of everything Star Wars just to make sure it all is an arc, we'd be better off. But whatever. They're letting, as far as I know, they're still letting Rian Johnson put together his own trilogy.
Excellent.
Unbelievable.
Only Imperial Stormtroopers are so precise.
Too accurate for sand people. The problem is we know the opposite is true.
Ben's getting old.
That was one of the great things about when Mandalorian came out and the biker scouts are trying to shoot a bottle or whatever and they can't shoot it. This is awesome too. When he gets back home and his aunt and everything is just burned to the ground and their carcasses are on the ground and his reaction is, oh, darn it. Or I'm going with you. Like, it just barely phases him a little bit.
Kat, you're my kind of people because I totally agree with you. Far From Home, I'm like, oh my gosh, we've jumped the shark. But then I saw No Way Home under duress, and I was like, that was actually really good.
Wasn't it? I was not a huge fan of the new Spider-Man movies in general until this one was amazing. The first two were fine, but they were so far away from what Spider-Man is supposed. I feel like the end of this is a spoiler. I feel like the end of No Way Home returns Peter Parker to what he is. He's a guy who's struggling to get through life while he's trying to be Spider-Man, because he had none of those struggles really in the first two movies. That's original. Those 3 TIE fighters flying toward the Death Star is 1977 special effects.
Yep.
Awesome stuff.
If I worked for the Empire, though, I would have something to say about those helmets.
You wouldn't
Like,
do the
really?
big wide.
I have to wear this?
Like, what's the purpose? With the chin straps, like just.
Yeah. You can almost see the guy holding the Imperial probe
The probe droid.
torture droid or whatever on his stick.
They focus on the needle so you can't see him. Like, okay, so here's how far we advance, because we still, in this movie, we're just starting to learn about the Force. So we get to Kylo Ren, he's just, like, going right into her mind by that point, which is
Right.
how it should be. Like, he probably should have just been going right into her mind instead of, he doesn't need, like, that thing.
I don't like how they can see each other across the galaxy, and she's just like, put a shirt on, man.
Yeah. Okay, here's a question. How does 3PO have the dexterity to bend over and pick up a Jawa and carry it? Like,
He has fingers.
well, yeah, but I mean, come on. When he picks up the comlink later, his fingers are all like
That's
floppy.
true.
And there it is. The young man starts his spiritual journey to become a Jedi.
That haircut, though.
Yes. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. They're about to take this. You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Classic.
Great line. So, this is horrible. When the speeder goes through Mos Eisley, it looks exactly like a video game. All these extra little scenes. That speeder looks like a video game. It's horrible.
Yep.
And these,
I'm just waiting for like a Lego character to step out or something. You know?
yeah, this whole ad here is a waste. You didn't need it. You didn't need it at all. The
I'm
goofy
already
Jawa
bored.
hanging off the... What is that thing?
It's a Jawa.
No. The thing they were riding. Anybody know what that thing they were riding is called?
Gronk droid.
Oh, is there... You don't need to see his identification. He can go about his business. See, now we're getting to know the Force, right? Nobody knows
Yeah.
the Force. We're starting to learn.
You can get out of speeding tickets. It's amazing.
I just don't know why George went back and added so much stuff in Mos
I know,
Eisley.
like throw all this stuff in the background it doesn't add anything.
No, it really adds nothing at all. I just don't understand. And you probably could have done something there, but I just don't know why he just keeps throwing things more and more and more and more things into the background. And then R2 struggling to get off the back of the speeder.
Roll me off! Roll me off!
I don't have any arms. Most directors edit their movies down. Lucas edits them up. That's a good point. You saw a comparison between the modern and original New Hope. The difference is WoW and human Jabba. Yeah, the Jabba was not in. Never showed up until Return of the Jedi.
Right.
They did mention him. The cantina. That lizard guy is new, and that's no point, no reason for it. Did he replace the Hammerhead? They used to have a Hammerhead there.
That's right. What happened to Hammerhead?
Yeah,
I remember the Kenner action figure for that one.
Yeah,
too.
there was a Kenner action figure for like 4 or 5 of these cantina creatures, which were apparently the budget was so low they just went in and pulled a bunch of costumes off the back lot from horror movies. Chewbacca. Here's my question. How is it that Obi-Wan knows to pronounce it Chewbacca and they go Chewbacca? How do we know that there's a different pronunciation of the A while we're talking to him? I don't know. Anyway.
I feel like you might be getting into the details too much. My question really is much more important, and that is, what does Chewbacca have in his bandolier? Like, what Ammo?
I think it's ammo.
Spare AA batteries for something? I mean, what do you put in that thing? He never does
Rations.
anything with it.
It's rations. You add a little water. You got a sandwich.
Huh? Yeah. Added.
There he is. There's Hammerhead.
Okay.
This is an awesome scene, too. He doesn't like you. I'm sorry. I'll be careful.
Your face has the death sentence.
These guys are super aggressive, by the way.
You know, Weird Al's song, the Star Wars Cantina, is a classic.
I don't know that one, do I?
What?
So I just actually got my youngest son into Weird Al. I played Anakin Guy. That's not what it's called, but you know, American Pie, Anakin Guy.
Yes.
Played that for him, and he loved it. Like when he's singing, "Do you see him hitting on the Queen? Though he's just 9 and she's 14." We're laughing at that stuff. Then I got him turned on to Fat and other stuff. So he's been listening. So now he wants to listen to Weird Al. Extra do back there for no good reason.
Yeah.
So we listen to Yoda, but
Yep.
what song is the Cantina song? Let's do that.
It's called Star Wars Cantina.
Okay, let's listen to that tomorrow. I remember as a kid, Han Solo. I know that Luke is the hero, and everybody, he's the guy that you just. But
he's not cool.
Han Solo is so freaking cool. Less than 12 parsecs, baby.
Obi-Wan's face there.
He's like, and I don't care. You're right, because here's Han Solo. He's 35 years old. Right? He's acting all cool, and Obi-Wan's like, dude, come on, man. You have no idea what I've seen. That's the real trick. I always loved Docking Bay 94 because we have a highway where we grew up. It was Highway 94 that kind of ran all through town, and you had to go on Highway 94 to get anywhere.
And that's what it made you think of Docking Bay 94?
Yeah, always. I kind of put them together in my head. So I always remember Obi-Wan's like, just everybody calm down. And 15.
Well, Ben's pretty free with the Rebellion's money there, isn't he?
With the Carillion or the Alderaanian credits. That's a weird line, by the way. Looks like someone's beginning to take an interest in your handiwork. That's a weird one.
The guy just cut somebody's arm off. Somebody called the popo.
Yeah, you think nobody's paying attention here? All right, ATX. Okay. You gotta pay attention. Remember what I said at the beginning? I asked you something?
Okay, McClunker?
McClunky.
McClunky?
Pay attention.
How does Greedo do anything with those fingers? He's got literally suction cup fingers.
I don't know why George just won't let this go. I don't have it with me. Gee, I can't see his other hand. I wonder what he's doing. I'm the dumbest bounty hunter on the planet.
Yeah.
Get ready. Did you hear it?
Nope.
Greedo said McClunky.
Okay.
Oh. Hey, ATX, thanks, buddy. So, hang on, I got a cough. So, George just keeps adding stuff constantly. They keep adding things to that scene. So
you added that word?
So the first time they did it, Greedo shoots first, and you're like, whatever. Then they tweaked it a little bit more, and whatever. It's still horrible. They tweaked it again, and this last time around, which was like in the last couple years, they added Greedo's before he shoots. Greedo says McClunky. We'll have to watch it. We'll have to go look up McClunky. It'll be the first thing you'll find.
Okay.
Thanks, ATX. Everybody subscribe. If you're on and haven't subscribed, do it. See, there's just no reason to add all this extra stuff in the background for these. I just don't get it. They add those flying droids. They add people walking in the background. There was just no purpose to it.
There's no getting past those Imperial troops either. They're like, knock, knock.
Yeah, well.
Let's move on.
By the way, how does he know it's locked? He didn't try to open it. He just knocked. Those SP-38s. Dang it.
Those things are sweet.
Yeah, I know. Sweet ride. This is a horrible costume, by the way. This is like paper mache snout.
And the goggles.
Yeah, the goggles.
I'm in disguise.
Here we go. The useless Jabba scene.
Now, this is one where they literally CGI'd him over the original footage of the chubby guy in furs, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
There was a big guy with fur on, and they CGI'd Jabba over him. I think this is the worst thing that Boba Fett's there, whatever. I think this is the worst thing they did in this movie. Of all the stuff they added, even Greedo shooting first is not as bad as this entire scene being in the movie. I don't know.
Yes.
And I didn't need you to introduce Jabba earlier and Boba Fett earlier. Just let them be what they are. And this is... It doesn't even look... Jabba looks different, too. Like, in Return of the Jedi, he's, like, all brown.
Yes. Well, you get older, Humans turn gray.
In
Hutts
5
turn
years?
brown. I don't know.
There's another Rhodian back there.
There's like 3 or 4 of
Oh,
them.
there are. You're right.
They're everywhere.
Stupid Rhodians. With their suction cup floppy fingers. Like he had his finger through the trigger and then another 4 or 5 inches flopping out of that. Oh, obviously that means Docking Bay 94.
How is R2 going down the stairs? No one's even caring about his well-being back there.
R2 is a marionette going down the stairs like, whoa.
Wait up!
What a great line. What a piece of junk. Shut up, kid. Luke and the Falcon in this whole next 10 minutes is hilarious. What's that flashing?
This place smells funny.
There's the
Are you there
dice.
yet? The dice, yes.
That was actually a decent move in the sequels. Reminding us of the dice. Stop that shit! Blast them! And then Han
That's their answer to everything.
shooting like this. That's their answer to everything. Don't you love how Han shoots like he's just totally limp-wristed shooting? I love this.
Sit at the card table.
Now, that is not a bad ad. The Falcon...
That's all right.
Yeah. The Falcon VTOL taken off out of Mos Eisley. And then these are just original, and it's just awesome.
Yeah. 'Cause, 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 'cause,
Can you picture these guys filming this movie? And Mark Hamill's talked about it. They just thought it was just some goofy movie they were making. And George Lucas is so lax with his direction. He's like, oh, do you like that? Yeah, okay, go ahead and do it. Whatever. Like, now's the moment to like question Han's judgment.
Yeah.
But I mean, just science fiction movies or space movies were just so cheesy at the time. You just gotta think you're making just this piece of garbage movie.
What was that one? There was like a knockoff movie. It was a 12-minute long comedy where it was like an iron flying through space. What was that one? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
I don't remember what it was
Spaceballs.
called.
But
No,
no, that was a RV in Winnebago.
with Barf.
Short for Bartholomew.
Their pants.
I think they were very much made to like look like Nazis.
You think?
Yeah, I think I'm just taking a shot there. Just taking a guess.
I also love how everyone in the Empire speaks with a British accent.
I mean, they also call their troops stormtroopers, you know. So I mean, you know, talk about Nazis.
He should have like made her lips move.
Like grabbed her face.
He did grab her face.
Oh, oh yeah, he did. You're right. And then she like does this. She's so cheeky though, you know. She's just like,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Look how much taller Vader is than her. Holy smokes.
David Prowse was a giant man. Did you ever watch the Netflix documentary about David Prowse?
No.
It's really fascinating. She's 19 there.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times I can look at her and I can totally, you know, her mom's Debbie Reynolds and I can totally see it. Like, does that mean anything to you?
No.
See, have you seen Singing in the Rain?
No.
What?
Is it a musical?
Did you just ask me if Singing in the Rain is
No.
a musical?
No, I know it's a musical. I don't like musicals. Ergo, I haven't seen it.
You science types, man.
Yeah, right. Too left-brained. You theater
Hey,
types.
by the way, where was she going there? She leaned forward and said no, and then Vader
Yeah.
pulls her back, but there was like a kind of a weird pause, like she just was trying to like press up against Tarkin for some reason.
I love their COVID protocols here where they wear those like helmets that cover everything. I can't see crap.
Like it's Spaceballs, like, brings the helmet up. Can't breathe
Yeah.
in this thing. Are you all right? It's so funny that to turn a lightsaber on and off in 1977, they had to.
The stop motion, yeah.
Don't move! Don't move!
Don't
I'm
move,
not
we're gonna
moving.
take the blade off.
I'm not going to.
Did they correct the scenes here, like when Vader and Obi-Wan are fighting, and you could see the sticks at points?
I don't
Have
think
those been-
so.
Okay.
Because there's one where Obi-Wan's doing this, and like you can, it like you can't even really see the lightsaber. It's like you remember that?
Yeah, because he's like pointing directly at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, the stop action on the chessboard is amazing.
Well, it's like the AT-ATs, right?
Yeah.
In Empire Strikes Back. I mean, those took what, weeks to do those scenes.
So hey, Overlap, what's up? NOOCH channel's been very helpful since the pandemic. Well, thanks, man. I'm glad. I love hearing it. If whatever I can do to ease everybody's days. Oh, I gotta move this timer over because it doesn't show the hour. Hang on. Overlap, you've been a great supporter of the channel, buddy. Hang on, I gotta. Oh, wrong one.
You broke it.
I know I broke it. Zing. Oh, yeah, there we go. It controls my actions? By the way, what a great setup where they're teaching you about the Force.
This is how I used to discipline my kids. I had a floating ball that would shoot at them. Don't forget to pick up your room or I'm going to get the floating ball out. Okay, Daddy.
And you put a helmet on them and say, all right, try to block it. Block it with this stick. How weird is it that Han Solo has never heard of the Force or the Jedi, or like it doesn't even like resonate with him?
Well, I mean, it's not important to what he does, right? He lives on the outer rim and he smuggles and he doesn't pay attention to that kind of stuff.
But I mean, he's in his mid-30s, and it was about 20 years ago we're saying that all this bad stuff happened. The Jedi were wiped out. You'd think
it would have made the news, you're saying?
Yeah, you'd think it, hey, Ford's on. Ford is our Swedish member.
Oh.
Ford is one of my the biggest proponents of The Hobbit, by the way, and always pushed me to watch it. So he loves the White Orc.
There's a couple in every room. So, question: this helmet with the blast shield on it. When is that ever useful? When do you say, "Man, I got to put this blast shield down so I can't see anything"? That'll come in handy. What do you do?
I agree. They've never there's never been any explanation at any point during any of the movies why you would wear a helmet that you couldn't see out of. Yeah, I don't know. That's a great question. That's actually a really good question. I've never even thought about it. Overlap keeps it coming, baby. Nooch, your friend is much funnier than you and better looking. What's his channel?
Overlap is my new favorite fan.
Overlap is my friend. By the way, Cosmo doesn't remember this, but he'd always talk about me when I got older and how my kids would be like, or maybe like, I like Nooch. He's dumb.
He's dumb. I think I said he's funny.
No, you said he's dumb. Trust me. It hurt. It hurt so bad.
Poor Nooch. I should tell this story about how back in the day we literally had days called Pick on Nooch Day, where it was just the day. Like today is Pick on Nooch Day. And
National Pick on Nooch Day.
National, yeah. Poor Nooch.
Actually, you guys still do it. Like we have a text string with all of our buddies from high school, and occasionally somebody will still put in the acronym NPOND, National Pick on Nooch Day, and just start railing on me. By the way, these special effects for 1977 are completely amazing. Why does Luke keep talking about stuff
like Luke knows anything about anything. You grew up on a moisture farm, man.
He must have been part of a convoy. Yeah, a convoy of TIE fighters just flying through space. Hey, what's up? I don't know, man. How much fuel you got? Not much left.
Womp rats, and he's suddenly an expert on Imperial tactics.
That's no space station. Or that's no moon. That's a great line, too. Chewie, turn the ship around. Overlap wants more Nooch stories. Should we tell him about the Trivial Pursuit pie piece?
Well, who's going to tell the story, though? Will the truth out?
I wish we had a flux capacitor to go back in time and find out. I'll tell you. I'll set it up, and then you can tell this. I'll let you tell the story, and then I'll argue with you.
All right.
So I don't know if anybody in here has ever played Trivial Pursuit, like the actual board game. So when you played Trivial Pursuit, which was like one of the first, when it came out, it was a big deal. Like Trivial Pursuit sold all over like everybody had Trivial Pursuit, and you'd go around a board, and you could pick like geography questions or history questions or art questions, and you had a little circle, a little plastic circle thing with 6 pie pieces, and when you got the history question right, you'd win the orange pie piece, and you'd put it into your circle. And when you get all the 6 pie pieces, you go back to the middle, you answer a question, you win. So these little pie pieces are about the size of not even a dime. They're smaller than a dime as far as around, but it was like literally like a little plastic pyramid that you can hold in your hand with a curved like a pie piece of pie, but 3D. So then I'll let Nooch Cosmo take it from there.
Well, you would say so. There's these pie pieces, and they're like a piece of pie. Yes, they are. So you could squeeze them and flick them some places. So we're sitting down playing Trivial Pursuit, and at some point, and we have our Pepsis. Of course, you had Pepsis sitting up on the table near us, and so I leaned back with one of my pie pieces, and I said, "Twink," and I flicked it right into the glass. It was amazing. It was like one of those miracle shots. And anyway, that's the end of the story. It was me. It was me who did it.
So what we would do with the pie pieces, we would take them and squeeze them and just like and kind of flick them at each other, like you'd squeeze it on the triangle, it would shoot and peg the other guy in the head. But there was one of those times when I squeezed it and it shot off and it went right in the cup because it was me that shot the Trivial Pursuit pie piece into the glass of Pepsi.
And I have told Nooch this. Not that I hope he dies, but I hope he dies before me so that at his funeral I can tell this story and not have him contradict the truth.
You'll be crying. You won't be able to get that story out. By the way, they just popped out of the smuggling bins in the Millennium Falcon, and when Chewie pops out here, it's a great moment. And Obi-Wan pats him. Oh no, wait, Han does. Han rubs his head like.
Good boy. Good boy. Who's a good boy?
By the way, how deep are those? I guess you can go all the way down in there because.
Well, you're smuggling a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I guess we get a view into it in Empire, don't we? When he's in the asteroid field, is he down in one of those? Or no, he's back in the engine room.
I don't know that was the smuggling hole.
Okay. This is so funny.
Wham bam.
Somewhere there they knocked him out really fast.
Yeah.
Or I guess Obi-Wan could have just like, boom, done. But then Han would believe in the Force then, and he doesn't yet. So I don't know. Then they shot the stormtroopers.
Why aren't you at your post?
Why are there no holes in the armor? Hello?
You're asking me?
I'm asking. Why are there no holes in the armor? They shot him.
Shot him. But you hit him right in the knee there, like right between the armor plates.
What are the gaps?
Yeah.
And they're lucky that just nobody else is around except these two rogue Imperial officers manning the station. We got a bad motivator. How awesome is that practical door effect too? Like that thing just came right down, man. This stuff for I keep saying it, but this stuff for 1977 is so far advanced. Like so
Well, you gotta remember,
far.
there weren't even really computers in 1977.
No. We didn't have home computers until, when did you get you had an Apple IIe and I had an Apple IIc. When did you get yours? Do you remember?
I guess early 80s.
How much memory is on that thing? 64K or 32K, or was it bigger?
We had the upgrade. We had 128K.
Oh, now we email each other images that are like a megabyte. So we used to play video games on the old Apple IIe. We played. Well, you and I got together and played Taipan here, maybe a year ago, but.
Yes.
Taipan was great. It was a really good lesson in economics and smuggling opium.
It's just like how people say, like, CS:GO it's a really good exercise in hand-eye coordination. Taipan, an exercise in economics.
Yeah. Ford
Mom,
said
it's educational.
Ford says there's no holes in the armor because it's got plot armor. Plot armor is a new idea to me, but I love it. I think it's a great. My youngest son was like, we were watching a movie and he's like, that guy's not going to die. And we're like, why not? He's like, well, plot armor. He can't die. He's got. Han's like, what are you doing? We're not going anywhere, dude. Which is fairly a prudent move, you know?
C-3PO could use a little buffing there.
Yeah, he needs to get cleaned up. Oh no. Now Han thinks Ben is really smart and he doesn't want to go anywhere.
Yeah. She's rich.
Better. He had trouble getting that out. Marching into the detention area. He had to work on that one. I love when Luke goes to put the cuffs on Chewie too. Like,
Yeah.
I'll take
You
care
put
of
him on.
it. Yeah, you. What?
See all those gaps in the armor? So many places you could shoot.
And by the way, when has the armor ever protected a stormtrooper from a laser anyway?
Fair point.
Like I
It's
remember
really good against slingshots.
yeah, I remember Empire Strikes Back. Like you could just clearly see it was just shot right through their chest, and it was like a flaming hole, and yeah, just
Even Ewoks could take him down with primitive weapons.
yeah,
Right?
like sticks and clubs and rocks. Lock the door.
What are all these blinking lights?
And he plops his hand on R2. That's funny. Now, what's that
Mouse
little droid
robot.
called?
That's a mouse robot.
Is it?
It is.
Well, it's making mouse noises. That's some serious remote control there, buddy. That thing was moving. When he says, I can't see a thing in this helmet, that was actually just Mark Hamill just riffing.
Oh, yeah?
Because he couldn't see a thing in that helmet.
The Empire is a big fan of sharp drop-offs.
I have an idea. Why don't we put up a little 3-foot railing and have this thing just drop off to eternity? Shoot, so is Cloud City.
Yep.
This is awesome too. When the door opens, they're facing the wrong way. That was one of the things that really, I think that's what really set the movie apart. Is just all the little jokes in there that it's just awesome.
Well, I like how they're the elevators. It's so realistic. We can all relate to the elevator when, you want to get on. The person's like, "No, it's full." And you're like, "It's not really full, but I'll go wait for the next one over
Right.
here."
And they point to the prisoner they got handcuffed next to, and you go, "Oh, man, okay." Maybe not that part. I did say so before. They try to go out. Gee.
Hey, what's up?
Where are you taking this thing? Han's speech when he calls in the is just maybe the best.
What? Everything's fine here?
Yeah, we're all fine here. Thanks. How are you? Once again, the Empire can't hit anybody with lasers, but these guys are shooting every single camera, just nailing it. Boom, boom, boom. One shot and done. And there's still Empire guys walking around shooting at them. That are, like, where were those guys?
Hey, he's been practicing bullseyeing womp rats.
That's true. We know Han's a good shot.
So much mayhem.
Adam just saw how Amazon trains are getting robbed in downtown LA. Yeah, I saw that too. They like the train yards in Los Angeles are just littered with cardboard boxes and trash, and people just taking it off the trains. Because I don't know.
I feel like it'd be like, what do you get out of that? Maybe every now and then you score a TV, but most of the time you're probably just getting junk.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying that.
No, I know.
It seems like an odd crime to commit.
To me, the oddness. Luke, we're gonna have company. This is such a defining scene in the movie. This whole cell block scene, although they all are. I don't know. I can't. He's so like staring at her. By the way, dude's name is Luke Skywalker. Really?
And
Like we just never thought we should maybe change this guy's name. You know, her name is Organa. Um, we didn't name her Leia Skywalker.
yeah, they'll never figure out who his dad was. I feel like that big ball on the table is the same thing as nowadays when you have those little conference table speakerphones.
And they
Am I
never
on
work
mute?
right.
Am I muted? I can't tell. Try dialing the number again.
And there's always like 8 cords coming out of them going different directions. You're like,
Yes.
what is up with this thing? And there's one button you're supposed to push to make everything project on the screen, but it never works. Chewie, get behind Han because that's how it works. He can shield him.
Well, he's wearing armor.
Okay, you're right. The armor will help. By the way, just stand there and pick them off as they walk through the one person-sized hole. They made a little tiny hole. They're going through it one. Just sit there and boom, boom, boom. When they blow the grate off, I think when Han jumps through, you can see his foot kick the top thing, and you can see it go like boing, boing,
Like
it's
rubbery.
Yeah, it's rubber. So watch that when he jumps through the grate, you can see Han's foot on the way down. I think it's Han. Just kind of kick the rubber, kind of goes spring just a little bit. And the time frame here makes no sense for when they're locked in there and 3PO has to get up and move, and they would have been smashed by the time he got down to that other control room or whatever.
She's spunky.
She's so awesome. Into the garbage chute, flyboy. What a great line. I don't care what you smell. Either I'm going to kill her or I'm beginning to like her.
Oh, I think you're beginning to like her.
I think so.
Head first. Yeah.
Okay, now watch. Do you see that? Just a little bit? No?
A little bit.
Oh, I guarantee those weren't metal. What an incredible smell. By the way, how did Luke have enough time to already have shot at the door and had it bounce everywhere? There was no time.
I had the Death Star set, right? The Kenner play set. It had the garbage compactor in the bottom, complete with garbage compactor monster, and you could like crank it to crush. It was like little foam pieces, and anyway, it was pretty amazing.
I remember you had that. It's called a Dianoga, that thing.
Oh.
I'm sure I'm pronouncing it wrong, but yeah. And it was like orange, right? It was like an orange snaky thing with the eye that came up.
I feel like if I still had that and hadn't sold it at a garage sale for a couple of bucks, it'd probably be worth a lot of money these days.
Aren't we dumb? NOOCH 2 garbage and the Flyboy line could play. You gonna draw that one up? You've seen how I use your memes, by the way, haven't you?
Yes, I did. I watched the reveal too, or what is it called? The reaction.
There it is, Dianoga.
Yep.
Mark Hamill tells a really funny story, and he does Harrison Ford's voice. When he comes up out of the water, and then the very next shot, his hair is perfectly slicked back. He said that he went to George Lucas and said, "My hair wouldn't be slicked back. I just popped out of there. It doesn't make any sense." And Harrison Ford goes, "Don't worry about it, kid. If they're looking at your hair, we're in the wrong movie," or something like that. And you should look it up. It's a perfect Harrison Ford imitation. And the way he says it is hilarious. Like he's actually called him kid in real life too. Like he said,
Yeah.
Like he said when they went to the Empire Strikes Back premiere and Darth Vader says, "I'm your father," he leans over and goes, "Hey kid, you never told me that." Because nobody knew. Like Mark Hamill
Yeah.
and James Earl Jones and George Lucas knew, and they didn't tell Mark Hamill until like after they'd already filmed the scene. He didn't know when he was screaming no.
Oh, because he didn't say the real line, right?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
He just said that's not true. That's impossible. That's all he said. So they had told him the line was like, I think that Dave Prowse said something like, Obi Wan
Obi-Wan
killed
is
your father.
Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever.
which
I'm
is
your uncle.
yeah, which is bad, but not as bad as it turned out to be.
Yeah.
Hey, Alex Brick, what's happening? We're on the trash compactor scene, by the way. They're bracing the walls, and this is, let's just say the white flowy robe really stands out in this scene. When you're when you're a young man and just starting to have those kinds of feelings, and you go, oh, what's happening here? White flowy robe. Here we go. Here comes the stormtrooper. Clonk.
Clunker.
They even have the sound effect. Doink.
Hey, when we edit the movies for the new release, we should make that sound effect even louder.
They absolutely did that. Adam says he saw Harrison Ford in an interview with Ryan Gosling and kept forgetting Ryan's name. That is hilarious. I think Harrison Ford is just in his own world. He just drinks a lot and doesn't really care. I mean, heck, he's landed
He's
on
like 85. I mean,
yeah. He's like 70 something and thinks he's still gonna. I mean, this Indiana Jones idea. Just let it go, man. Let it
Yeah.
go. Small question: who is Nooch Cosmo? Nooch Cosmo is my best friend from since 1984 ish, 83, 84, sixth grade. And we used to watch Star Wars together all through the 80s. We'd spend the night at each other's house. We'd watch it. And I don't know if you remember this or not, but you were always amazed that I'd wake up in the morning and my hair was perfect.
Because my hair never, to this day, my hair is like this absolute horror show in the mornings. So I'm jealous of anyone who doesn't have that problem.
My hair is now a horror show every morning. I don't know how it did that, but it only did that when you would spend the night for some whatever reason. My hair would just be perfect in the morning.
That's a statement that, taken out of context, is going to end your political career.
My burgeoning political career. So Nooch Cosmo is my best friend. You know, we used to. We both remember we were on the bus in sixth grade, and we would. He knows exactly what I'm going to talk about.
I know what you're going to talk about.
We were really cool. Like we were the cool guys in school. Like everybody wanted to be us, and we played football and stuff. So we'd be on the bus, and we had our little vinyl gloves because it was winter in Missouri. And your mom makes you wear the vinyl gloves and the heavy coat with the hood and, the stocking cap with the little ball on top of it. And you're like, I don't want to wear this. So we would take off our vinyl gloves and fold down all except the ring finger and poke it up slowly over the seat to make people think we were flipping them off. But by the time it came up over the seat, it was just the ring finger, and we had fooled them. We were so cool.
We were so clever.
And our fingers weren't even in them. We would just do the glove. We thought that was really hilarious. Some pilot you were watching said he met him at an airport and he's waiting to go fly. He said a typical pilot-to-pilot conversation about weather. Yeah, pilots talk about the weather and about ailerons and stuff, but then Harrison Ford goes out and crashes the plane. That's the difference. Like the real pilot lands on
Too soon.
The real pilot lands on an airport. Harrison Ford lands on a fairway. So,
This seems like a really important control panel. Let's place it here.
It's
Maybe
a good
the
thing.
architect who designed all this really liked, bridges and stuff. So he's like, if I could have these huge pits and make bridges go across them, that'd be awesome.
The great thing is that the Empire is such a big bureaucracy full of red tape that they have zero controls in place to recognize that the tractor beam has been taken down.
Right, yeah. It's somebody who fell asleep at their console or is wearing one of those helmets that can't see the light going off on the side, right?
They have the blast shield down.
where you came from.
She's amazing. This is a great line. Your worshipfulness. Somebody get this big walking carpet out of my way.
So we learned there that they have carpets in the
Ah.
place this is set, although I don't remember ever seeing one.
So that's something interesting to me. I've thought about it a lot. Is like, they talk English. Did that happen in real life? What, the gloves? Yeah, we did that in real life. They speak English, so sometimes they use like American metaphors for jokes, like walking carpet, which is not, but we get it but then sometimes they say, "You scruffy looking nerf herder," and nobody had any idea what a nerf was. In fact, most of us still maybe kind of do. I kind of know what it is because of a game I played back in the 90s. By the way, there's a big pit next to the Millennium Falcon, too, that you could fall down.
Yeah.
There's just holes everywhere in this thing.
There are just so many OSHA problems with this Death Star.
This was actually a good CGI addition. All the extra stormtroopers when he goes around the corner. Because originally it was just the 5 of them, and they had gotten stuck at the end of a hallway, and they turned around and started shooting. Ford is getting some weird translation error with the Swedish subtitles.
I didn't know they were doing Swedish for me.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you there. Do you not speak English, Ford? I thought you spoke English.
He's writing in English.
Or are you watching Star Wars and it's doing that? Whoa!
It could be that your words like nerf herder are not translating well into Swedish.
Oh, I said nerf herder. Yeah, that would have been a problem. I get it. Yeah, there you go. So I played Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds, and you'd go get Nerf for food. Like you were farming food and iron and gold, whatever, kyber crystals. But the foods and some places was Nerfs, and it was just like these big round things that walked, like a cow.
Stormtroopers even had the high ground, and these guys have no cover. Ugh.
None. There it is. There's the, what's that called?
Wilhelm Scream.
Yes, thank you. I guess Nerf herder doesn't translate to Swedish. The Nerf herder. This moment where they swing across the chasm was like a super big deal when it happened.
It was?
Yeah. I just remember it being one of the things that was like super talked about with this movie, how they flew across there. Like an old swashbuckling pirate movie.
Ah, yes.
Like Errol Flynn as Robin Hood. Swing across the chasm with the princess. And she kisses me on the cheek, and somehow I sensed this is wrong.
There's a tremor in the force.
There's hopefully just
There's
in
a
the
tremor
force.
somewhere.
Great music.
Dun, 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 dun.
You gotta love the camera angle. Those stormtroopers, by the way, are about 20 feet behind him. Open the blast doors! Open the blast doors!
So many blast doors in this place.
Luckily, somebody shut it at the exact moment. Here we go.
Hey.
Stand still, Alec. We're gonna hand you a lightsaber. I think in this version they also fixed when Darth Vader's walking toward the Falcon after he kills Obi-Wan, because in the original he's holding the white rod.
Yeah. It's like, what a good comeback by Obi-Wan there. Your mom's a master of evil.
What kind of spin was that, by the way? He would just cut him right. You're too old to spin anymore, Obi-Wan.
One of my favorite scenes in Revenge of the Sith is when these two fight. That is just an amazing bunch of sword play.
Yes. Yeah. It is. I can't disagree. Now, we ranked the Star Wars lightsaber battles with our friends, right?
Yeah, but we never got to the finals. What was the winner?
I don't know. You guys, I still rank. I still rank Empire as. I think Empire is the most impactful one to me. And it's the first time you really see any acrobatics and stuff like that. You know, this was
Yeah,
so. This is just basically two old guys fencing. Here it is, right here. Yeah, you can kind of. They fix it a little bit.
a little bit.
That used to be like you just saw like a little like electric charge going up to
Yeah.
a lighted dot at the end. It didn't look like a lightsaber when he's going. Yeah, he does that in a minute. He goes, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Cosmo can't see me, by the way, but when he does that little thing where he, never, you know,
When he
right there, right there. Well, that worked out well.
plot convenience playhouse. Looks like CC Rose got yarn sticking out of his back.
Where? What are you talking about?
Well, it was his little wires, but
I never noticed he walked across the front of the screen there really fast. Like he's moving. Hurry up, Goldenrod! You're gonna be a permanent resident.
why?
Yeah, like right here. Originally, Darth Vader's lightsaber was just a white rod.
Yeah.
One shot. Blast the
One
door.
shot.
Done.
First try.
It's like a 6-inch by 6-inch plate, and he just hammered it from across the room without aiming or anything. Good thing Han had time to get that line out while he's escaping from the Death Star.
Yeah. Don't press any buttons. Just talk for a minute.
And you need to fly faster, by the way. Let's get moving. Don't give me a cool pose.
I love the sound of the Millennium Falcon, right?
Yes.
That's a very iconic sound, just like the TIE fighters.
When in Solo, which you think is a steaming garbage pile, which I like Solo. When they're escaping the Kessel Run, and the ship breaks down and it goes. It takes me right back to Empire Strikes Back when every time they hit the hyperdrive button, it does that.
Watch this.
Watch what?
Watch what?
It's not my fault. And by the way, Leia is dead on here. They're like, oh, yeah, we did it. She's like, they just let us go, dude. You're so stupid.
Boys. Got my gloves on.
He does have his gloves. And he's queuing up the trigger so he can hit it better, you know. Bum 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 bum. Now, so this is the first time, let me think about it. This is the first time we're seeing a real space battle, right?
I guess. I mean, other than the Star Destroyer.
Yeah, but he just flew away from those. Nobody shot at anybody at the time.
If only the Imperial, Navy had more than 4 TIE fighters to send after these guys, right?
Like the thousands of them they have on the Death Star. I'm picturing them filming this. Just start looking around. Keep looking like this. And
Yeah.
we'll just... Got him! Don't get cocky. Yeah, think of the impact this had seeing this in a movie theater for the first time with nothing that had ever been even similar, and there's just this gigantic space battle going on. Just
Yeah.
fast and awesome and yeah, really cool. Just awesome stuff. Because like, didn't 2001 come out before this, or was it after this?
I think that was in the late '60s.
Well, and it's all like slow motion. You know, you're in space, so it's got to be
Yeah.
slow motion. And George Lucas said, yes, "Forget that. We're gonna make this movie all about going fast all the time." 3PO's melting down.
Yeah, I can't even think of other science fiction movies from, the late '70s. And if I could, I'm sure the special effects in them would be like, ooh.
Flash Gordon, which I've never seen. Um, hey Dan, what's up? Lego Stars Battles update's awesome. I got a video. Go watch it, dude. Oh, here we go. This is our favorite line.
Yes.
You call that easy? That's not it. Hang on.
At least my hair is still intact after being in a prison cell, a battle, a trash compactor, not having any chance to take a shower or freshen up, but still looking good. And Han, your feathered hair is still in place.
Here we go. I care.
Hey, hey, cutie.
The biggest weenie line of any of it's. I think that's worse than Tashi Station because it's just like it's such a obvious, pitiful. Like, look at me, you're a girl.
Come
you're a
on,
pretty
Luke's a
girl.
playa.
You think a princess and a guy like me? No. That's awesome.
So I never understood. So in the movie Solo, which you brought up, the Millennium Falcon had the front pieces together, right? And now they're apart. What happened?
It was the escape pod, right? Wasn't that an escape pod that got launched off?
I don't know. Was it? I'm asking. I don't know.
I had to watch it again. I think there was an escape pod in the middle and they shot it off when they were in, big trouble to try and lose some weight. Man. Oh, I need to watch that movie again. You want to watch it with me?
If you pretend it's a standalone movie that has nothing to do with the Star Wars universe, it's not bad. It's kind of a travesty. Actually, that said, Donald Glover was brilliant.
He did.
I really liked his Lando.
Yes, his Lando was perfect. Yeah, like exactly what you think Lando would be at that age. Yeah. Starting to see more and more people named Lando, by the way.
No.
Yeah. So do you know the what's that? What are those?
Use your words.
You know Rhett and Link, the podcast they go on Good Mythical Morning?
No.
Don't you watch stuff with your kids on YouTube?
No.
Okay. Well, Link has they're a little younger than us, but they're in their 40s. And Link has a son, and he named him Lando. He has a son named Lando. And then I saw a commercial there's some French race car driver whose name is Lando. So I think people are starting to name maybe 15, 20 years ago, started naming their kids Lando, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
We'll see if it really catches on.
You missed your chance, man.
Yeah.
You could have done it.
So did you.
That's true. So is Biggs sitting next to Luke? Is that Biggs? Or is that Wedge?
Let me see it again. I don't think so. No, that's just some guy.
Okay.
I'm looking for Biggs in here and Wedge.
Oh yeah, Biggs has a mustache, doesn't he?
Yeah. Luckily, Galen Erso built in.
Spoiler.
Oh, sorry. He's such an idiot. I used to bullseye womp rats in my T-14 back home.
Did you get a license for that?
Yeah, you have a womp rat hunting license. It's womp rat season, boys. You're in your womp rat blind, like waiting for him to come along.
We have 30 or 29 units of something until we can fire. I love Tarkin's expression there. He's sort of like, what?
I love
Breathing
when he
too
goes,
close to me, man.
evacuate? No, moments of triumph? Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying we should evacuate.
So, are we to understand that this is like a crate full of money?
Yep, that's a crate full of money.
So, with all their technology, they just use crates full of money.
Well, no one was thinking of electronic money at the time, so
I guess
yeah.
that's true. You can't just transfer it into his account, right?
They didn't have PayPal in the galaxy far away. Because
That would
Elon
have been
Musk
great.
wasn't
He's
there.
like, Leia, just Venmo me the money.
Which makes a lot more sense now that we're here, but, you know. I think it's money. It could be supplies, too, because, you know, he's getting ready for a trip. He's like, I need you know, 3 weeks of rations or something to get me to back to Tatooine.
Fair.
I mean, we never really talk about how long they were in hyperspace between Tatooine and Alderaan. I think it's like days, and I don't think it's like, you know, an hour like you think it might be.
So, did they have a shower?
I hope
and stuff
so.
on the Falcon.
Somewhere for Leia to do her hair for sure.
Clearly.
Her lips are so glossy. Second kiss. Oh, and he's just like he's totally gone. He's like,
Hey.
yeah.
It's like I can take on the whole empire myself.
What? Well, there's Biggs added scene here.
Yes. I've seen him take out so many womp rats. I can tell you some stories.
Hey, Biggs, I don't think it's gonna be like old times at all. In fact, it might be like last times for you, Biggs.
Ouch. Yeah, you assume he said yes.
Yeah. Maybe he's learning to speak R2 by this time. That's what he was doing when they were flying to Yavin from the Death Star. He's learning R2 speak, or, you know. Guys, I had a video for those talking about Lego Star Wars battles. The video's already out about the update. It was awesome. I'm definitely going to play it tomorrow night, so pay attention. Okay, back to the movie.
Wait, you already made the video, but you haven't released it?
No, it's out. It's been out since this morning.
Oh.
It was a pretty cool update. They added Kylo and Rey to the game. First big update in like 85 years.
Yeah, I know.
No, you don't. NOOCH Cosmo is not a gamer, by the way.
Except for Taipan, because it teaches economics. But
well,
I love these guys with their airplane.
Actually, NOOCH Cosmo is a big board gamer. He actually is. And he's in the hangar, and his X-Wing is already, like, flopping around. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's an added scene.
Yeah, these guys in the towers have the best job ever. I mean, that guy has a spear. That's awesome.
And what's he doing? Like, can he see ships coming in before they see him on radar?
That's right.
I mean, they're watching the entire battle at a radar readout right there. Okay, so all of the X-Wing CGI, all of this stuff I like. This whole scene, I feel like it's better now than it was back before.
You think?
I do, yes.
I mean, back then, the X-Wings opening up were kind of hokey. Wedge. Didn't they put Wedge in one of the prequels?
No, I don't think so.
I thought he showed up in there. And Porkins. Everybody loves Porkins.
Well, I don't think... Are you thinking of Rogue One?
Yeah, maybe.
Was Porkins in Rogue? I know that Red Leader was in Rogue One.
What board games? I love Terraforming Mars, Power Grid. I love a little Secret Hitler. I'm working on designing my own board games. Dominion, probably my favorite game.
And we have our group of friends and we just started this in the last 5 years. We started getting together once a year at somebody's house to for spend a week during the summer and just hang out and play board games for a week.
Because we're that cool.
Yeah. Actually, I think all of our kids are all grown up now, so that's the key driver there. Got a little cooked, but he's okay.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't change those effects, right? $30.
You know that they got 1,000 TIE fighters on that thing minimum.
Yeah.
Carcassonne, Ticket to Ride, Dominion's a great game. I love Dominion.
Yeah, Carcassonne's great. I like that one a lot.
I haven't played it. Like we'll get together on Saturdays sometimes and play Dominion online, or it's been a while since we played Terraforming Mars online.
Yeah.
What's that Roman game play that we play?
Seven Wonders.
Yeah, Seven Wonders is a good game. It's not really Roman, it's all sorts of different, but that's one that sticks out for some reason. You knew what I was talking about. Luke is randomly shooting at the surface of the Death Star, by the way. Just randomly shooting just nothing. That's the original.
Yep. And they all rotate together.
Yep. That's new. Well, I can't see him. I love the targeting computers in this movie.
Yes.
They're just so wildly. It's like you're either dead on or just flying all over the place. There's no like in between.
It's very 1977.
Yeah. Or even Darth Vader when he locks on to Luke's X-Wing and goes, and he doesn't hit him till like the 15th automatic shot, and he hits R2. Am I giving it was a spoiler? Sorry. Yeah, Seven Wonders is a lot of fun.
Seven Wonders Duel is a great two-person version too. I played that just yesterday with my daughter.
I can't shake him. Now this is new right there, but that's cool.
Yeah, that looks good.
And Wedge coming in from in front of him. I love this little.
Don't worry about Biggs. Fly right by.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
By the time he shoots him, he's already flown too far, and those. He would have just done a head-on hit there. Darth Vader
as opposed to what other formation would they use? Like, if it's not attack formation.
They still have only launched about maybe 20 TIE fighters to defend the entire Death Star at this point. I think it's a really good point when they talk about, the headlines for the Imperial newspaper would be like, terrorist destroys Death Star,
yes.
Millions of lives, blah. And it's like, well, yeah.
I thought you said head lice for a minute, and
I might have
said
head lice.
What the connection was.
By the way, why are they entering the trench so far back?
Yeah. Let's drop in about 20 miles back.
Switch to targeting computer. All right. What are they covering you for, Vader?
This is classic bad guy mistake anyway. As the bad guy leader, you don't go out and do this kind of stuff. You have minions for this.
Except he's the best star pilot in the galaxy.
Stay on target.
He once knocked buzz droids off of Obi-Wan's ship with his ship. until Obi-Wan told him to stop. Let's not do that anymore. Here it is. Evacuate. Moment of triumph.
Your sideburns are a triumph. They need better. Like, I love when they're like, "We're going into the trench," and then they hear it on the other end. It's like, "We're going into the trench." It's like, can't you do a little better with your radio there? Come on, guys. Start your run. New.
Yeah.
That's probably it. ATX is probably like, well, we can't move more than 4 of them at a time, so we'll never have an attack group of more than 4.
Yeah, I think by the time they were putting together the special effects for the Death Star, they were pretty much out of money at that point, and the studio was like screaming at them like, "You get this done by Tuesday or it's done."
A few 27,000 units more.
By the way, how awesome is it that George Lucas just kept the rights to all of it the entire time? Just like, I'm not giving this up. This is my thing. Lucasfilm owns this, and just made $1 bazillion as a result of that.
Didn't he? He literally sold for $1 billion.
$4 billion.
$4 billion?
Disney bought it for $4 billion, and he donated it all to charity. I don't know what charity, but that's what he said. He didn't need it. And then he got mad when they made the sequels. He's like, "These things suck." He's like, "Ah, well, they really should have done it this way. Just impacted on the surface."
I wonder also if the Empire would be like, you know what? These guys are doing a lot of stuff in that trench. It's almost like they're aiming for something. Maybe we should check out what's down there. But no.
He's pulling those G's as he just flies straight down to the Death Star, man. And there's a random explosion they filmed with no real... There was no X-Wing in that explosion.
That was him crashing. Oh, you're saying there was no X-Wing going into it.
Yeah, it's just an explosion. I love that line. We're going in full throttle. I say it all the time.
Before we were going slowly, but we're going to really step it up now.
That made me think of something I can't think of before we were going slowly. What do I think? That's reminding me of something I can't think of what it is. Wedge, shut up, dude. And by the way, why is Luke the lead guy here? I mean, Biggs went to the Imperial Academy. He's a pilot. Wedge has clearly, been to pilot training, and Luke is just some guy that rescued a princess off of a Death Star.
Excuse me, Bullseye Womp Rats. You keep forgetting.
Let me ask you, son, have you ever bullseyed a Womp Rat? Well, yeah, I used to do it all the time back home. Well, you'll be in charge of this group.
Go to the head of the class.
You could tell Biggs and Wedge what to do for this entire battle.
Yeah, the plaque for the alternates.
It's in the ladies' room. Stay on the leader.
I have a feeling about that guy.
The Force is strong with this one.
He's flying in a straight line.
The drama is pretty intense here. Boom. Childhood friend dead.
At least now Luke can go to Biggs' funeral and tell the story about the Trivial Pursuit pie piece without being interrupted, though.
That's true. By the way, Luke is still like 20,000 away, isn't he, when he looks at his targeting computer? Like, he's still so far. Why are they dropping in? 34,000!
34! I like Vader's like screwing something back on. Dang it, this thing came off! I hate that.
These stupid low-budget triggers. Stupid government always taking the lowest bidder. Like those $700 hammers that were exposed in the 80s. The government was paying $700 for a hammer so they wouldn't have to, so they could spend their whole budget. And somehow he makes it all the way down the trench by himself.
Still going in a straight line. Everything's screwed in tight, ready to shoot.
And Darth Vader was like coming at him, like outspeeding him like 2-1 there as he approached him. Somehow now he's dropped back again. Uh-oh. That's got to be a good feeling.
Begin
The Death Star is
unnecessarily long and complicated process of firing. Jeez, they had half an hour to do it. Get everything ready. Still screwing things back together.
Nope.
What?
That's awesome. Flying out of the sun. I love that.
It's
That's
like
really
when
awesome.
Gandalf comes over the hill, you know. You got to come with the sun at your back. It's awesome that way.
And you know, you have no idea that's coming when you're seeing the movie. I mean, just zero idea that that's about to happen. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe somebody did know it was going to happen.
Pull the lever. New.
I'm okay with that. I like the new explosion.
I don't know. I don't know about this fascination with little ring explosions now.
Now we go to the award scene.
And everybody knows that YouTube video of without the music. That is so amazing.
That's one of the top all-time Star Wars YouTube videos of the award scene with no music.
Yeah.
And he
someone
screams
coughing in
Carrie
the
here.
background.
Carrie! I don't think he does, but that's the thing. I knew you'd come back. Uh-huh.
Yeah, right.
Stupid kid. R2 is
no.
toast.
Dozens of people are dead, but we need to worry about this right now. He's a hot mess.
ATX wonders how those original studio naysayers must be feeling. They get it wrong all the time. I always tell my son, you know, they keep like remaking movies and putting out stupid movies in theaters that should never be there. I'm like, it's just because there's a bunch of old rich white guys running Hollywood and they don't have a clue. That's how I feel about that stuff.
Highlander. Oh my gosh, I remember that.
Highlander's amazing.
I don't know if it aged well. I don't know if you watched it now if you'd be like still amazed.
I have always maintained that the Kurgan is the second best bad guy ever of all time in a movie after Darth Vader. I love the Kurgan. When he's driving like a maniac through the streets and he's just screaming at that girl, she's going, ah! And he's going, ah! He's got the safety pins all around his neck scar.
Oh, my second favorite fan, Grandmaster Baroda.
Baroda.
I love these guys. This is my first live stream ever in my life, so I hope I'm doing okay.
You're doing all right.
Okay.
I'll give you
I'm
some
not a
tips
pro.
afterwards.
You have some notes for me?
Yeah, I've been taking notes. Never question the host. All right, we're getting the award. R2 is bouncing up and down at the awards ceremony right now.
No medal for you, buddy.
You know, it's a really cheesy ending. I'm just not sure how the movie should end it otherwise, though. You know, what else would they...
It is true. Like, what do you do otherwise? And why doesn't Chewie get anything?
Exactly. And why do they stupidly give him a medal at the end of Rise of Skywalker just to make up for it? There it is.
All right.
Good stuff. Yes, yes. Standing ovation for A New Hope. Which, when we were watching it, I showed you that, didn't I? Did I show you the VHS tape up here?
No.
My VHS tape, I'm going to go get it. Take out my earbud. So, and you're not going to be able to see it because you can't see anything. But my VHS tape, I'm going to put it up here, that is from 1990. When was this released? 1990. This is copyright 1990. It's just called Star Wars. It just says Star Wars.
Yeah. I have, which I will bring out for the next movie, I have the Empire Strikes Back LP soundtrack.
Oh,
on
nice.
vinyl, like original 1980. And thank you both for the art shout out. I am not an artist, if you can't tell.
Everybody loves your art. They love the stick figures, man. It's good stuff.
I do dabble.
Oh, well, that was fun, man. I'm glad we did this. It's the first time we watched this movie in at least 32 years together.
Thank you for the invitation.
Yeah. So we will get together sometime late in February, I hope. We'll figure out a time. I'll talk with you. We'll figure it out, and we'll do Empire Strikes Back, which I think for both of us is the seminal movie.
Yes.
Yes.
Whatever seminal means, I'm sure that was it.
I think it's related to you know,
Don't say it.
it starts things. It's the beginning of creation.
How do we end a live stream? I don't know what you do now. Do we just kind of
How do we end a live stream? Well, I say something like, "This was a lot of fun. We will definitely be back and do this again next month. I'll be on Saturday morning with the Hobbit live stream that you guys all paid for, which we are there, and be prepared for me to like the first hour of the Hobbit and then just rail from there on out." And we're gonna do, and proceeds from that Hobbit live stream will go toward St. Jude on that live stream only this Saturday. So be on there and donate for a great cause. In the meantime, I'll be on tomorrow night. The next 3 nights I'll be on. I'm gonna be on tomorrow night with Lego Star Wars battles. Well, actually, I'm gonna do a review of Boba Fett. I'm not gonna keep doing the watch parties. That's not working out that well for me. I'll do a review of Boba Fett, and Thursday I'll be back. I'm gonna be doing something. But of course, guys, thanks for joining, Cosmo.
Most happy to do so. Thank you all for watching, and may the Force be with everyone.
Yes, and of course, always remember, Nooch too good. There we go. And I'm gonna end.